Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. So, I had it scheduled to go live at 4:20, but I realized that probably wasn't going to work. So, I'm only 7 minutes early, but I apologize if you were waiting for 4:20. There's no purposeful symbolism behind that time. That was just a coincidence. Ewan has his last soccer game of the season, and we have to drive. They're going to be coming home and getting ready, and then we'll go. So this one will also be on the shorter end because I got to go. But the title of this, I'm calling it like dating your clients. Why you should be dating your clients. Why it's a good idea. And there's a purpose why I'm calling it that, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're having an incredible day. Let me get this up on my phone really quick so I can... Jan, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing awesome. So I'm going to do a watch party and dating. Let's go. Okay, so it is Wednesday. I have had an awesome day so far. And just so cool. So I have had a great conversation today with a new friend, Crystal, who lives in Florida, and she has an amazing story, and we're going to work together on fleshing that out and with her new adventures that she's doing with her business. It's so cool. And I love that I have the opportunity to sit down with people face-to-face, virtually, and in person at times, and to flesh out your guys' stories and everything. And it was just fun. Like, we talked and we got to know each other and those kinds of things, just introducing and getting to know each other and meeting each other, sharing our experiences back and forth a little bit, and all that kind of stuff. And it was interesting and a wonderful experience just to take another person, a stranger, so to speak, that I know, met through the One Funnel Away challenge that's going on right now. I'm one of the ambassadors. She's going through the program. And just how cool it is that we are able to connect and everything from all across the world. And, how blessed I feel to be able to connect with people on a personal level through sharing our stories. And then how people hire me to help them with their stories. It's just so cool. So it's funny, the conversation and the call that I had with Crystal earlier got me thinking about how our storytelling in our business, our branding, our messaging that goes out to the world is kind of like we're dating our clients or our future clients, okay? Now, what do I mean like that? First of all, has anybody ever gone on a date ever in their life? If you have, comment that you've been on a date before. Hashtag been on a date. Oh, I love that stuff. But if you have ever been on a date, what happens on a first date? You meet somebody, you're either introduced or you meet somebody at some event or something like that, and you decide to go get drinks or coffee or go get dinner or go do some activity, right? When you first meet somebody, what are you doing when you're sitting across the table from them? You are sharing stories. You're swapping stories. You're talking about you and your interests and your family and your background, what you do for work and all these things. They're telling you the same kind of things. You're bouncing back and forth. You're like, oh my gosh, I know exactly where that place is. La, 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 right? You find common ground through sharing your experiences. Okay? So, when you are marketing and you're putting your message out to the world, you need to approach it as if it is a first date, okay? If you are putting a message out there that is geared towards attracting people and bringing them into your world, you need to approach that as if it's a first date, okay? Now, how do you approach it that way? Or how do you go about approaching things like a date when it's business? Like, you're not trying to romance them, right? No. Like, the symbolism and the metaphor behind it. You are trying to get them to fall in love with you, to commit to you, to give you money, to partner with you, however you want to do it. That is your goal as a business. When you are dating, when you're single and looking for a love connection, you're looking for companionship, a relationship, somebody who thinks and sees things similar to you, or people that you get along with. It's the exact same with your clients and the people that you're trying to attract. Okay, so I've talked a lot about storytelling to sell. I want to just talk briefly about storytelling to bring people into your world. Maybe you don't hook them and make a sale, but they come into your world, indoctrination, introductory type of things that will get them to be interested enough to want a second date, right? To get to know you more, to hop on a call with you one-on-one in your business, to book a consultation, whatever it might be. You need to be thinking of your messages that are out there as first dates, okay? And I'm not saying that, sometimes you're gonna have a one-night stand. You're gonna knock it out of the park, right? You're gonna have somebody who sees this first thing and immediately becomes a client without any further discussion or anything like that, right? Those happen. But they're far and few between, or they're not like super frequent. So you got to kind of nurture a little bit. So I want to talk about, these stories are specifically designed and used to get people into your world and interested enough. We talked about in like the first week of me doing these lives, we talked about using short stories. We talked about Instagram stories. We talked about testimonials and all these things. These things can be used as your first date material. Okay. Now, my Friendly Giant Films video, right? That is first date material. It introduces me, people get to know me, blah, 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 blah. They come and book a call with me, or that portion of my business is kind of transitioning out away from doing free calls, but paid introductory calls that are a little bit longer, right? So it's just one of those things that it gets people into my world. And again, like I've mentioned before, with my Friendly Giant Films video, the people that come into my world as a result of seeing it are far better qualified and much more ready to take action. My phone is ringing. I'm going to have to cancel that and call him back. It's my dad. And so those things happen when you set the right message out to begin with. Okay, so think of. Sorry, I'm just looking at people trying to see who's on. But so when you think of your hooks, the things that you're putting out there to garner attention, get opt-ins, build your list. What are the things that you can talk about that will pique interest, that will build a personal connection, and also show, a little bit of what life is like by partnering with you, right? That is all what a first date is all about. What's up, Michael? Happy to have you on, dude. What types of things do you share in a first date to get somebody to want a second date? That gets a kiss at the end, you don't obviously share those exact same things in your business, but think of it beginning with the end in mind, right? That's my mantra. If at the end of this story or their experience with you, you want them to opt in or come into your world or subscribe or like this page or become a member of your list and follow along, you need to do some certain things to get them to do that. So sharing personal interests. This is where, again, like I mentioned, really short videos and stories like that are great. You can do a series of them through emails, Instagram stories, Facebook lives, all that kind of stuff. Instagram stories is the place that I love to do it. It's where people get to see me, my true self, in my work environment, when I'm on a shoot, when I'm playing with the kids, when I go to a soccer game, which I'm going to be doing here in a little bit. Those are the things that get you interested or get them interested and help them get to know you a little bit. And then you give little nuggets of showing what you do, right? Yesterday, my Instagram stories were kind of funny. I was uploading, and it's still going. It's almost done. Some footage from a shoot that I did on Friday. I don't know why these ones are taking so long, because the day before I did almost 300 gigabytes of uploads, and it took all day, but it got done. Like, this is only 99 gigs, and it has taken way longer. And so yesterday I was doing this estimation or upload updates throughout the day, where I'd be like, now I'm down to 43 files left, and it only says 6 days left to do it, and it was just kind of funny. You share the things that you're doing in your business in these little stories, okay? And those are the things that get them to understand what you do without you having to sit down every time and be like, my name is Nick Fitzgerald, and I like to tell stories for businesses, and I have made videos, and I have worked in television and film and news and commercials, right? You don't have to regurgitate the same thing. You show them what you're doing, and they are attracted to it. They get curious. They reach out to you, that kind of stuff, okay? And then also throwing little nuggets of wisdom out there is always a good thing. Just to give value and help them see that you know what you're talking about, okay? So these short stories, these first dates, can be as simple as 15-second Instagram stories, and you pace them out throughout the day, or, that kind of stuff. You're sitting down to do some work with a client, and you show some of that stuff, and then you talk about the things that you're discussing or thinking about or feeling as you're going through it, right? Those are ways to attract more people, and they're short, brief stories, right? And they're things that endear our audience to us, okay? And then as we go bigger, like my Friendly Giant Films video, the one where I go to the movies with my grandma. If none of you have seen it, go to friendlygiantfilms.com. It's right there at the top, and watch it, okay? And then go through the rest of the page and book a call. But those are first dates. That video is a first date that lives on my page. It's there all the time. It's on YouTube all the time. People go to friendlygiantfilms.com and they see it. And it answers a lot of questions. It helps them get to know me a little bit. It shows my skills, all that kind of stuff. And then they typically will book a call to talk to me because they want that awesome video for their business, right? And so, again, that's something, it's out there and it's working. And I don't have to do any of the work. It does all the selling and the pre-framing and the qualifying for me, right? Hey, what's up, Adi? I'm just seeing your comment on my phone. Hope you're doing awesome. So, again, you think of, okay, let's break down the different places that you publish and put these stories out and relate them to a type of a first date. How does that sound? So my Instagram stories, Snapchat, whatever you use, those short little things that just show little glimpses into your world are like your little meeting for coffee type of dates. You just get together, share a cup of coffee, get to know each other a little bit, and then you decide from there where to go. Now, again, you always have to, if you as the business owner need to make that invitation to the second date, right? So if you do a string of stories, then you say, hey, go and swipe up, or go to the link in my bio, or you send them, give them something to do, or send me a PM, that kind of thing. Your Instagram stories are like that little day date coffee shop meeting, right? Then there's Facebook Lives, where you can get really deep and you can interact with the audience with comments, and you can see things that are going on. Those are like you're kind of just like going to dinner and sharing and getting to know each other, right? That's that kind of first date. My Friendly Giant Films video, something that is high production value, that goes out and does, the really nice version of your story, and it's always there. You don't have to be posting it all the time. It's always there. That is like your dinner and going to the theater, like posh date, right? Something where you're really trying to impress people and get them to commit to the second date, right? So in all the things that you're doing, Yes, Adi, I'm Weeman Fits on Instagram. That's me. So go and follow me if you haven't followed me on Instagram, you guys. And so you see there are different types of dates, right? There's the quick and easy, get to know you, low pressure, invitation at the end if things go well. As the business owner, you're always going to make an invitation, right? Make an offer. Then there's more detailed, some give and take, back and forth. Facebook Live is like you're going to dinner on a first date. And then like my Friendly Giant Films video, something that lives on your funnel and does all that kind of stuff. It is dinner and going to the theater, like a nicer dinner where you look really fancy, not fancy, but you just spruce it up and it's just a higher level. Okay. So what I want you to do, this is just a mindset thing, is if you have dated or you're single and dating or you're married and all that kind of stuff, your first date is crucial, right? It determines that by the end of it, you have a good feel for if you want them to come in or you want to go to on a second date or if they're going to accept it or not, that kind of stuff, or if you're just going to part your ways. That is your initial message, the hooks, those stories that you put out there to attract people to you. Now, once you get them into your world, once they become a client, all that kind of stuff, do you stop courting and dating them? Absolutely not. That is like why so many marriages get in trouble, is because during the dating, you're sweet and you're sending flowers and being thoughtful and all this kind of stuff. Then you seal the deal and you get married and you just kind of let yourself go. You put on some weight. You don't give them the attention that they want. They're going to start looking. Their eyes will wander. The 7-year itch happens. All that kind of stuff. It is the same in your business. You need to continually be nurturing that relationship. And the way you do it is by your stories and getting to know them, understanding them, and giving them the content and the things that they want, right? If she doesn't want flowers all the time, but she would love for you to empty the dishwasher, right? Do that instead of always shoving flowers in her face. Because after a while, she's going to be like, ugh, So our messaging and our stories and what we put out with our business is us dating our clients. Now, we can be polygamists, so to speak, because we can have multiple clients, right? Oh man, that went down a road I shouldn't have gone down. But you know what I mean? Like we can have and attract as many as we want, but we have to continually nurture that relationship. And the way that we nurture, the way that we connect, the way that we bond, the things that get us through the rocky times are the connections and the bonds that we have with our clients, that we have in our relationships, right? And the way that we develop and grow that is through telling our stories. Okay? It's one thing to tell stories to connect and get them attracted, but then the stories lead them to solutions and solve their problems and guide them on the path to self-discovery and bettering themselves. All of these things, right? So keep that in mind. Now, again, this was going to be short. I haven't seen my wife pull up yet. We should probably be leaving soon to go to soccer, but maybe I should check and see if I'm just supposed to meet them there. So I just wanted to. That's like just a brief overview of how our stories. We need to be intentional with our stories. And when we nurture and guide them on the path, like I've talked about over and over again. We guide them on a journey that endears them to us, that makes them want to stick with us and buy from us and all that stuff, okay? So that's what I had today. It was just a quick one. I had an awesome conversation earlier with somebody, and we were getting to know each other and all that kind of stuff. And at the end, we partnered together. She's hiring me to help her develop her story, right? And it's just a very purposeful journey and things that you do to guide people from complete stranger. Like we knew each other through a couple of comments on a thread in the One Funnel Away challenge that's going on right now with ClickFunnels One Funnel Away challenge. However, through our call, we got to know each other. We shared stories. We went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then she ultimately decided to hire me, right? And that is the purpose of why we put our content and our message out to the world, okay? It wasn't something where I went to her randomly in a messenger and said, hey, I do stories. What do you do in your business? Oh, that's cool. Would it be of value for you to have me tell your stories for your business and you hire me? Like, how many times have we got those messages in Facebook Messenger or in LinkedIn or something, or a complete stranger that we just friend requested us or whatever immediately messages us, and you can see through the bull crap that they're just trying to lead to pitch us something to hire, right? I get those messages several times a day, and it drives me nuts. So it's a give and take. It's a relationship right from the beginning. If you want it to last, if you want to be able to charge people more and raise your value, or, be able to raise your prices because you're bringing the value, it's because you're building a relationship instead of just trying to get one night stands and moving on to the next one, churn and burn, right? You build a relationship. And your stories are how we do that, okay? So that is the thought for you guys today. I got to get ready for commute to a soccer game. It's going to be a wet one again. And we will catch you guys. Colleen, I see you hopped on. Yes, sometimes that's the thing is some people get desperate, right? And they're chumming and they're putting out all this stuff trying to lure everybody. And I'll be honest, I go in and I engage in groups and I provide value and I help in the hopes and the expectation that at some point somebody's going to see it and be like, dang, that's exactly what I need. Let me talk to this guy. And then we can have that conversation and we can partner together, right? And so that's transparency. That's what a lot of my engagement in groups is to do, is just to provide value and be helpful and insightful, funny sometimes, maybe a little controversial. But by so doing, people will be like, that Nick guy is pretty awesome. And he does what I really need his help. I'm going to talk to him, right? So it's baiting or chumming, but in a completely different way. Instead of going and blasting somebody's inbox or commenting on something like, oh, this is totally perfect. PM me and we can talk more about it. No. That is not providing value. I love to keep the discussion in that thread so that other people can see it. Because some people might not see it. If they just see that it went to a DM and nothing goes, there's no value for people there, right? And so that's just how I do it. But again, these are all the ways that you date and court your clients. You attract new ones and you nurture and build the relationship with the ones that you've had, right? So, Colleen, I appreciate you hopping on. I'm about to wrap up because we're going to go to soccer here in just a minute. Liesl and the kids just pulled up, so we're going to get ready and go. Colleen, make sure you check your messages. I sent you something earlier today. But you guys, it's simple. If you've ever dated anyone, if you've ever bombed on a date, if you've ever had an amazing date, learn from those experiences and the journey, how you connected or how you didn't connect or how things felt. And you craft your messages for your brand in the same way. Okay? And when you put those out there through the coffee shop date, which was Instagram stories, right? If you missed that, go back and watch. Or through Facebook Lives, which is like going to dinner with your date, right? Or the Friendly Giant Films, Star Wars, go to the movies with your grandma type of video that lives on your funnel, your website, your pages, all that kind of stuff, and works for you all the time and is high production value. That is your dinner and going to the theater, going to a Broadway show, that kind of thing. Something that's more high fancy, right? Approach your messaging and think of it in those different ways. You need to be having coffee shop dates. You need to be going on dinner dates. And you need to have some fancy pants dates, right? And when you build your marketing messages to fit those three areas, good things are going to happen, okay? And then you nurture and build the relationship with the people once they come in through one-on-one or, this kind of providing value in lives like this, doing some teaching, coaching, insightful stuff. Okay? So, with that said, have an amazing day, you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.